I had only walked around a half-mile when a sudden feeling made me stumble. I'd been mentally planning my next days off and hadn't been paying much attention to my surroundings. I hadn't seen a person all day and hadn't felt the need to keep my senses tightly closed. I opened them wide now, and the wave of evil that hit me was staggering. I quickly shut them down. I walked slowly now, listening. In the distance I heard voices, but I was too far away to hear what they were saying. Still, I could feel the sinister intent behind the voices. I didn't dare try to hear the minds of the people talking. I was too terrified to do that. I needed to get out of this wooded area and to safety, not become frozen with fear. From the direction of the voices, I could tell that they were directly in my path, blocking me from my way to my car. My need to get away from there as fast as I could was driving me to run, but I didn't want to be discovered. If I moved quietly and cautiously, I could make my way around them without being detected and run like the wind once I got far enough away. Luckily, the path was worn by animals and probably hikers, so I didn't have to worry about too many crunching leaves or foliage. I just stepped over the few leaves or debris in my path. "Did you really think you could hide from us?" I heard one of the men saying now. There was no reply. I looked in the direction the voice had come from and noticed that the path would lead me directly to the right of them. Unfortunately, I would also be in clear view of them. They were in a partial clearing that the path went right through. I would have to make my way to the left and closer to the river. Here, the brush was thicker, but the rushing water would hopefully muffle any sounds I made crushing fauna underfoot. I turned and made my way off the path and into the low brush. I would have to be careful and stay low as I passed. The trees here were not as dense, and I ran an even higher risk of being seen. As I made my way into the brush, 3 men came clearly into my view. I ducked down and noticed 2 of the men were holding another at gunpoint. Suddenly, one of the men swung his fist and sent the man being held at gunpoint sprawling to his knees. I stifled a gasp. My breath hitched and my heart began to thunder. I let my breath out slowly and willed my heart to calm before pressing forward. These men were dangerous. I tried not to look at the men so that I could focus on keeping my movements silent. It was impossible, however, to keep my eyes completely off the terrifying drama unfolding before me. I was certain they planned to kill the man, and I had no way of helping him. The best I could do was get to safety and call the police. I had slunk my way to the left of them and was right alongside the river now. I crept along, keeping a wary eye on the men. They were still talking, but I forced myself not to concentrate on what they were saying. I cringed at how much noise I was making, walking through the dry leaves and debris on the ground, and praying they would not hear it. The sound was so loud to my ears. The man not holding the gun cocked his arm back to strike the man, who was still on his knees, a second time. This time, however, the man spun, doing a side kick, and sent the man sprawling. The man with the gun reacted instantly, raising the gun toward the man's head. I don't know whether I gasped, screamed, or made a sudden movement, but suddenly, both sets of eyes of the evil men turned towards me just as the shots sounded. At the same time, the man on his knees was flung to the side with incredible speed and force, but I wasn't sure if it was from the impact of the bullet hitting him or in anticipation of the shot. All I could see was the barrel of the gun swung in my direction. "Hey!" one man shouted. "What the hell? Shoot her!" the other man roared. As I turned to run, I saw the man on the ground kick out again, followed by a loud crack and a searing pain in my left side. I bent and grabbed my side, but I did not stop running. As the pain grew more unbearable, I knew I couldn't keep the pace. I was lurching forward and could hear someone quickly gaining on me. Soon they would be upon me, or worse, they would simply shoot me. I did the only thing I could think of. I ran as fast as I could, ignoring the ripping pain in my side, and jumped off the edge into the rushing water below. With any luck, the rushing water would carry me away.